If you watched the last video, I did really good on a jig. So I may have to throw a jig again. I'm not sure. All right, welcome back to the channel. So I was out yesterday, never got a bite on top water. Every day is a little bit different. I did really good with a jig yesterday. So I might have to go back to that. Check out the deer. All kinds of them. So yesterday, I caught all my fish on a jig. Today I haven't had a bite on the jig yet. There we go. Ooh, it's a good one too. Oh, stop jumping. Oh boy, I'm telling you. Look at the size of that spot. He's a giant. Where did you... All right, I'm gonna have to do a little surgery on him. I can't tell where he's hooked. There we go. Unharmed, big. I mean, that's probably, I'm not gonna take the time to weigh him, but that's 3+ right there. Nice big spot. All right. I'm gonna have to retie. That is what fishing a jig will do for you right there. A jig just catches bigger fish. I probably should have weighed that one. That one might have been 4. But it doesn't matter. Jeez. Man, what a fish. I guess I'm gonna stick with the jig. All right. There just might be another. Wow, that was a big one. I mean, that was a nice one. That was a nice spot. So I'm using a 1/4 ounce jig, which is fairly light, because I want it to fall slow. When I pull it over a rock, I want it to just barely, you know, just fall slowly. It's enticing. There's one. Oh, it's another good fish. It's another good fish. Not as good, but it's a good one. It's a nice fish. Hey, hey, hey. Well, boy, it's another big chunk. Beautiful. Look at the colors. Awesome. Woof. On the old trusty homemade jig. That's odd. I can't, you know, it's the only way I can catch them right now. I'll take them though. Boy, that's another just thumped it. That was right off the side of this point here. So far it's been all points, which is not surprising. So the interesting thing about them eating this jig right now is this creek is just full of bait. I mean, there's bait everywhere, but they want the jig. Pretty sure that the crawdads are molting. That's usually this time of year. That's what happens. Somewhere in the fall. And I'm using a 7-foot medium heavy rod. It's a Mustad Instinct rod. I've got a Shimano Corrado reel, and I've actually got 16-pound gamma fluorocarbon. I went to a little heavier line because dragging this jig through the rocks will scuff your line up. You got to be careful. You end up breaking off. Man, nice, quiet, and peaceful. I'm the only. I haven't seen another boat the whole morning. One interesting thing is yesterday when I fished, it was all largemouths almost. Today all spots so far. You just never know. There's another. Not a big one, but I'll take it. A little largy. Boy. He is hooked. Just a little largy. It's all right. Sometimes you gotta catch a few small ones before you catch a big one. As long as you're getting bit, especially with this jig, you got a chance at a good one. And, you know, I've already caught 2 good ones, so obviously you're imitating a crawdad. Bass love crawdads. High protein, big bulky meal. They're not gonna pass it by. Oh. There we go. It's a good spot. Not giant, but it's a good spot. Good fish. Ah, nice chunky spot. Man, I'm telling you, The old jig is putting in the work. Got a school of bait right here. Boy, that's good sized bait too. So you see, you know, riprap like this is a good place for crawdads to be digging around. So it's a good place to throw a jig. There we go. Hey. Oh, it's another nice one. It's one of those humpback spots. And it's a good one. Check him out. Weird shaped. But he sure thumped my jig. Well, that was a good fish. Even that humpback one was a pretty nice fish. Right along, you know, these rocks. And those fish are there looking for crawdads. It's amazing, with all this bait around, they're gonna eat crawdads. Just there we go. It's not a very big one, but I'll take it. Boy, he sure slammed that jig. Interestingly, yesterday, all the fish were buried up in the cover. Today, and it was all largemouth for the most part. Today, they're more on the rocky points, and it's mostly spots. Every day is different. Well, again, there's the jig, and I hope this convinces you of the power of a jig. It's the best big fish bait there is for bass, in my opinion. You just catch bigger fish. See, I got a big tree in the water here. That'd be a good place for a bass to be laying. Oop, and there he is. Oh, it's another nice one. Oh, it's another hog. Oh, it's another jumbo spot. Boy, he took it deep too. See if I can. Boy, they are loving this jig. Another jumbo. That's probably 3, I'm guessing. All right. And he got my trailer. And I need to retie. Wow. Always check your line after catching one around structure like this. There was, you know, there's a big tree there. Man, that was a nice one. That was a nice one. And I want to point out that fish took it a little deep, but he was not bleeding at all. He was released unharmed, which is what I want. So we got this tree right next to a dock. So there's all kinds of cover. So, especially in the fall, a jig is hard to beat. The bass are feeding up, you know, getting ready for winter, and they just can't pass up a crawdad meal. All right, I think that about does it for me for today. Don't overlook a jig, whatever you do. It's the best big bass bait known to man, and it'll work on any lake in the country that's got bass, smallmouth, spots, largemouth, whatever kind of bass. They're gonna eat it. They're gonna eat a crawdad, which is what this looks like. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe, and make sure you come back for the next episode. I'll see you next time.